last time we talked about the base of karma, the base is the base. And also then we talk about, when we say I accumulate merit, then where we accumulate, how we accumulate. So what is the base of the karma? So here's a few different ideas. And according to great expression, school has a few different ideas. The Kashmiri school and the Swatantrika school, the continuum of the mind is the basis of karma, right? And other school, great school says there's a something which is look like which is not consciousness, no consciousness, no person, is the basis of karma, which is connected, result, and the cause and result. And this school and the consequent school, both they accept the action of body and action of speech are form. So here we have everybody must careful about, usually we say action has a three parts: action of body, action of speech, action of mind. When I said the action of body, is not really talking about the body action which we act. We are talking about the imprint which is left by body action, which is left by mental action, which is left by verbal action. For example, when we recite the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, that moment we hear a sound. The sound is the verbal action. The sound is action. The sound itself is no karma. It is a verbal action. After you recite the mantra, then they leave imprint in your mind, which is come from verbal action. This is the verbal action. The action itself is not really verbal action. We're not saying it's karma. And physical action, same body action or physical action. When you do the prostration, while you doing prostration, there's physical action. You're getting up and sit down and getting up. And this kind of is physical action. But you're not really talking about the physical karma. At the same time, you can leave imprint in your mind through the prostration. And we call this the physical action, not action itself. The mental action, cumulative verbal, and verbal and physical action is until there's an order. First you have to act, then you can accumulate physical action. Before also you recite the mantra, you recite chanting something, you chant, then you leave imprint. The mental action not like this. When you think, you just accumulate. When you have a bad thought, just thought arise, at the same time you accumulate karma. Physically, you have to act in physically, and second, you can live in pain. There's no order. There's order. The mental action, there's no order. When you think, you accumulate mental action. action. So then last time we talked about, yes, we believe, we accumulate merit or we accumulate negative karma. What does mean accumulate? Accumulate. It's not like we deposit something in our mind, maybe or maybe not. Based on my understanding, when I say I accumulate, merit, I accumulate negative karma, I mean we put bad habit or we put good habit in our mind. The more you put good habit, then you more have a good result. The more you put bad habit in your mind, then you can have a bad result. Accumulating doesn't mean, thing you can put in your mind, put habit. So this is, we talked last time. So now we study about a situation regarding object, possessor. Okay, object, possessor. For example, when you look at an object through your eye sensation, eye consciousness. Eye consciousness is the possessor of object because it possesses an object. For example, shape, color. These are the object of eyes consciousness. Sound is object of air consciousness. The smell is the object of nose consciousness. Because the five sensation has a five object. All of them form. And the sixth consciousness, the sixth mind, as a object can be formed or not formed. It has a two object. The five sensation has a only object which is formed. We can see the color, we can hear the sound, we can smell the the good or bad, we can taste the taste sweet or sour or whatever. All of them is formed. Not consciousness, not non-associated formation. The sixth mind, for example, when we have a deep sleep, while we are deep sleep, that moment there are not any five sensation, but still we have the sixth mind. That all the dreams happen with us is happening within the sixth mind. Sixth mind. When you are very deep sleep, we Tibetans use the heavy sleep, very heavy sleep or very deep sleep. At that moment, you don't really have any dream. Dream is happen, kind of within the light sleep. Whatever, all the dreams is happen with the sixth mind. Sixth mind. So object and possessor of object. The subject, the possessor is same meaning. This section has three parts. Assertion regarding person, consciousness, and trance. So the persons, better to use, not person, better to use assertion regarding being. Sentient beings or Buddhas, regarding being. Assertion regarding consciousness. Assertion regarding trance. So in Tibetan language, we directly use the sound. Okay, we produce the trance. So we know the person or being can be subject possessor, right? So for example, when you look at object, your eyes consciously perceive the object. At the same time, the person also perceive the object. This means person also subject possessor. The sound, the term, how it can be subject possessor. sound can have two categories, sound or terms. For example, the lightning sound is sound. It doesn't possess any object, right? It doesn't carry any meaning. When you have, say, Bodhisattva, the sound express Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva is the subject of the sound, which is the Bodhisattva. For example, sweet, sour. The sound, you have sour. The sound carries the meaning of sour. The sour is the subject. The sound which is expressed, the sour, is the subject. The consciousness has two categories. Some consciousness is, mistaken consciousness. Some consciousness is non-mistaken consciousness. Whatever, all consciousness must have an object. For example, anger is consciousness. What is the object of the anger? Object. What is the object of anger? Enemy or kind of ugliness. When you get angry towards someone, that moment someone you can see kind of ugliness, not beautiful. Enemy is kind of when you have anger towards someone, you not necessarily he or she is your enemy, right? Yes, you dislike, but not your enemy. The dislike kind of ugliness. Usually, attachment. The beautiful is the object of attachment. That's been the opposite of beautiful is ugliness. Ugliness is the object of anger. What is the object of compassion? Compassion, object. Compassion must have a three types of compassion. The simple or ordinary compassion which we have. Then great compassion. Then another compassion which is immeasurable compassion. Altruism. Altruism is can be compassion, not necessarily. Altruism is superior than the compassion. We say the immeasurable compassion. Whatever, the compassion must focus on what? Compassion have to be focused on sentient being. One sentient being or two sentient beings, many sentient beings. So usually all sentient being has, everybody has a compassion, doesn't matter, more or less. Even though when we watch the documentary about tiger, the lions, they killed many animals, but they always has a compassion towards their cub. So that means, it's very interesting. We say we have to practice, we have to cultivate. We say cultivate. We say we develop compassion. But all the seeds of the practice within us. We have a compassion, then we have to develop the compassion as a great compassion. Then we have to develop the great compassion as a immeasurable compassion. So the object of compassion is sentient being, ascendant beings, or many sentient beings, or all sentient beings. That's being compassion always have to focus on the sentient beings. That means sentient beings are the object of compassion. Then about the the mistaken consciousness, attachment, anger, ignorance. What is the object of ignorance? So before we talk about object of ignorance, what does mean ignorance? Ignorance. Ignorance.
Can be because you do not know, so you commit the
No wisdom.
not knowing the truth, so
True
you
nature.
do stupid things because you are not knowing. You don't know that it's wrong.
Cannot see the reality of the true nature.
Because look at this is the problem in the English translator. Because in the Tibetan language we say maripa, not just say ignorance. Maripa means not knowing, not seeing. Maripa, ma is kind of object word. Maripa. Ignorance not necessarily not knowing nothing. They're knowing something, but they're knowing wrongly. Right? For example, selflessness. So the object of ignorance is, I think, self. Exists, kind of selfly. Object of ignorance. Anyway, mistaken consciousness or unmistaken consciousness, everybody must has a object. Every consciousness has an object, and this is the object possessor. Every name or term, he said name and term express a meaning. This is the object. So this is not a commentary, right? So object has a three, right? Being, consciousness, and sound or term. So what is the example of being? Here, the person, the mere collection of mental and physical aggregates that are is base of the imputation is an illustration of the person. So when we see here, I saw Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. Wang, Mr. Wing, whatever, when we say someone, I saw someone. Actually, we see the physical body, right? The physical body itself is not the person. And also somebody touched you by their hand or leg, whatever, we say, oh, he touched me. But the leg and hands are not the person. So why we say he touched, I saw him. When we see somebody's head, we say, I saw him. The head is not the person. Why we say this way? Because the person is not separate than the aggregates. The person is not separate than the physical body. The person is not separate than the five aggregates. The person is just collection of five aggregates, just collection of five aggregates. The person belongs to the lower realm, desire realm, form realm. It must have a five aggregates. If the being, or the person is a human being, right? Same person is human being, the synonym, right? So we must use the being. The being, include into the desire realm, it must has a five aggregates. The person belongs to the form realm, it must has a five aggregates. The being belongs to the formless, it has only four aggregates. It doesn't have a physical body. Physical body. That's why we talk about the spirit, or ghost, whatever. It doesn't have a physical body which you can touch, which you can see it. It doesn't possess the physical body. In this way, that's what we call the formless. It doesn't have any form. So here, the illustration of the person is merely collection of the mental and physical aggregates. Then, illustration of person refer to what is the form, some of the five Semitia subsequent said that all five aggregates are illustration of the person. The first somebody according to the Vibhashika school, somebody said the five aggregates, the collection of the five aggregates is the person, is the being. The next, another school, sub-school, five Semitia sub-school said not only the collection of the five aggregates, each of them is person. Each of them person. So what are the five aggregates? Form, feeling, perception. So we decided in the hospital, right? Form, feeling, perception, discrimination. Is it discrimination? No discrimination.
I know the Chinese one, but English
and consciousness. Yeah. Form, feeling, perception,
mental formation,
mental formation, consciousness. This is the five. So according to five, Samitya says each of them is person. How they can accept, how they can say, the physical body is person. How they can say the perception is person. How? According to this school, it's very interesting. When you farting with someone, actually the physical body is farting, right? It's acting. That's when we say, oh, he's farting. Actually the body is farting each other. At that moment, the body is the person. So when somebody, practice compassion, then we say, oh, he practice compassion. He. That moment, the perceptions become a person. It look like, there's a five, they said the five windows in one house. In the house there one monkey, and the monkey looked from the eastern window, we said eastern monkey. And the monkey looking from the western window, we said the western monkey. Actually, there's a one monkey. Right? So it depends on the action. That's why each of them is the person. Then another school, another sub-school, Sumapa. Another sub-school, the Avantakas. Okay, Avantakas has said the mind alone is the illustration of person. He said not the physical bodies, not the five aggregates, not the collection of the five aggregates, not the all five aggregates. Only the mind only is illustration of the person. That means not the collection, not the five of them. Only mind is the illustration of person. So here it is not just enough. We just say, okay, this Suku is saying that Suku is saying that Suku is saying this. Well, now you need to think yourself, whom I am. I'm a body, or I'm a mind, or I'm a feeling, which you need to think yourself, who you are. So, if I say myself, yes, my physical body is me, then what's the problem? If I say, my mind is me, so what's the problem? There's a problem because we say my body. There's a two things. Me and body is separate. That means body is not me. Both bodies belong to me. That's why I say my body. The mind is not me because me and mind is separate. Otherwise, I cannot say my mind. Right? So, but if you segregate each of them, then you're not going to find a person, you're not going to find yourself. So actually, there's 4 schools. According to this school, the 5 aggregates a person, a collection of the person, a consciousness person. The first two schools are similar, same. The third, the Chitta Mantra school. According to Chitta Mantra school, they just say the all basis is the person. All basis. That's meaning the book it carry the positive karma and negative karma, everything carry in one consciousness. The consciousness is always there. When you are deep sleep, the consciousness is there. When you get angry, the consciousness is there. When you get upset, whatever, the consciousness is always there. No positive, no negative. It's very always be neutral. They say this is the person. In Tibetan, it's a Geshe, all basis. Geshe is the person. Chitta Mantra school. Next, the Madhyamaka school. The Madhyamaka school says, the collection of the 5 aggregates are not person. Each of them individually not person. Only consciousness is not a person. Person is just merely designation of 5 aggregates. Designation of 5 aggregates. Then they criticize each of them. They say, if the collection of the 5 aggregates a person, then we have to say the collection of the vehicle. Collection of the vehicle, the wheel and steering, everything put together. Do you think this is a car? Because all the collection is there. If you say the collection can be person, that means all the the vehicle collection can be car. It's not. Individually, no, the wheel is not car, the steering is not car, each of them not car. And the consciousness is not a person. They criticize each of their views. Finally, they try to, there's also in the Madhyamaka, there's 2 views according to consequence school. There's a person is just, merely designation on 5 aggregates or 5 or 4 aggregates. Just merely designation. Other schools said, the continuum of the consciousness is the person. The autonomy school. But think about, in the Prajaparamita, in the Heart Sutra say, form is not separate than the emptiness. Emptiness, so the emptiness is not separate than the form. The same 5 aggregates is not separate than the person. Person is not separate than the 5 aggregates. But person is not 5 aggregates. 5 aggregates are not person. But in generally, what do you think? So according to Christian tradition, they believe in soul. According to Hindu tradition, they believe in Atma. Except Buddhism and one of the non-Buddhist school. Otherwise, every tradition believe soul or Atma. So, do you believe in soul or Atma, or you don't believe any of them?
What's Atma?
Atma is similar meaning of the soul, but there's a three characteristic. It has a three characteristic. Singleness. Remember singleness. Independent. So because independent and permanent. Because Atma must have a three characteristic. Permanent, singleness, independent. This is the kind of definition of Atma. So, look at our physical body. When we die, our physical body, when we live here, then something going to next life. Who is going to next life? The Atma or soul or what?
The sense,
Huh?
the sense, the
Conscious-
sense, consciousness.
Consciousness.
Because consciousness is not you. You are not consciousness. Right?
But when the consciousness go into the next life,
Next life. How the consciousness go to next life? But you are not going. You are going or not? Yes, we believe you go.
Not the body, but the consciousness go to the next life.
And
That's
you yourself,
no.
not the body, but the person's consciousness go to the next life.
the person itself.
The neutral entity that is not me. Because this life I'm me, but next life it may not be me, maybe something else.
No, next life you. It doesn't matter. You are born in a human being. You are born in the cow animal. So it's still me, right?
The Atma that goes to your next life.
So according to Buddhist tradition, we don't accept Atma and soul. There's a problem if you accept Atma, then say Atma is permanent. How it can have a lot of changes? It's a singleness, it doesn't have any parts. There's a lot of parts. So we really need to think, the soul and Atma exists or not. The consciousness is not soul. The consciousness is not Atma. So because she's saying, yes, the body is not going, the consciousness go to the next life. What about you yourself? Yes, I'll go. How you go? With the body or without body?
Without body.
But you possess body. You must possess body.
But the body may not be a human being in the next life. It can be in 6 times, in any of the 6
What kind of body
Oh, that is
you could have?
It can be an animal, it can be a human
Okay.
being.
Consciousness.
I will raise very interesting question. So we never think about this thing. Okay. After we just leave this body, we believe we take another life, right? Also we believe when we take another life, we have another body,
Yeah.
right? So what is the substantial cause of another body?
What is
Karma.
the
Karma.
karma?
No, no.
No.
That's
Substantial.
the result.
Cause and effect.
For example, our body, when it is so small, gradually is developed and we have a huge body. So you just pass away 10 o'clock, and 1 minute past 10 o'clock, you have a body. You have a body, right? This body is come from where? Karma. due to the karma, you own a body, right? You possess a body. So how is body just met come?
Condition.
What condition?
Conditions of
Based on your karma, the condition to get a body.
No. So that's why if you think this way, you can have a lot of difficulties. You have a lot of problems. Also in many texts mentioned during the Pardo time, during the Pardo, say the size of the body of the Pardo has looked like 8 years. But 8 years old kind of child. It's been quite big. 8 years could be like. I don't think after you just pass away you can have this huge body. How is it possible?
it's supposed to be formless, right? No form.
No. It's still form. It has a form. Not formless jam. So I will try related to this, the death. If you are born from desire realm to form realm, then it must have a pardo. It must have a pardo. If you are born from desire realm to formless realm, there's no pardo between next life. Then also formless realm to born in the desire realm, and also there's no pardo. No pardo. So this is a question, who is really going to next life? I, right? I. Then we need to think this way. Before we pass away, I talked before in this class. Just you can see someone is very critical condition in hospital. They can move little bit here. They can talk. We don't understand what they are talking. And after 10 or 20 minutes, they cannot move. They cannot talk. They cannot hear. The person totally disconnect with the gross body. It's still he or she is still person. That moment, the person is very much dependent on the subtle body. It's totally disconnected with the physical gross body. If somebody cut their hands or leg, he or she doesn't feel any pain. No. Still, yes, he or she is still a person as a being. That moment, we are very much dependent on the subtle body. That's when you go from this life to next life, you're going through with the subtle body, not the gross body. So that's when you own our body, the body is very subtle. The subtle body is always with you. Always with you. The subtle body is not separate than the subtle energy. Because subtle energy. But the subtle energy is not the Atma, not the soul. Okay.
But subtle body has consciousness?
Yeah.
Has consciousness.
That means the subtle body is your body. It has a consciousness, it has a 5 aggregates, it has a 5 senses too.
Okay.
But at the stage of passing away, the person's sense is hearing sense and the feeling, right? Only left the hearing because they can hear, and when you touch the person that's passing, they still can have a sense, right?
And it does mean the person not still, not really still, disconnect with the gross body. Even then, you can just touch. If you think as the person not any, totally don't have any sensation, then means gradually he is going to disconnect with the gross body. It's look like, think about when we are in the mother womb, we are so small, very kind of tiny particle. Based on the particle, subtle particle body, gradually due to the condition is become bigger and bigger, it's huge, become very big. When we're going to die, all the energy dissolved into subtle, become more subtle and subtle. Space finally become so subtle. That moment we are relying on the subtle body. That's why, according to Konsi say, just designation of all 5 aggregates or 4 aggregates. Think about the cup. Before this cup, there's kind of kede, kind of substance mixed with the water, no cup. Then somebody made a shape, then it's become a cup. When it really become a cup, why it is a cup? There's no reason. Just, somebody just made something, they just give a name. Then this thing, we say, this thing become a cup. I'm not saying this cup become a cup. Somebody made something, give a name, become a cup. Somebody made something, give a name as a computer. Since then this object always computer. This means the computer is not just designation on, many parts put together. The person is saying there's a 5 aggregates there, based on 5 or 4 aggregates, and we name as a person, we name as a cow, dog and pig. In the 5 aggregates level, there's no any differences between human being and cow. In the subtle level, gross level is this different. The person, somebody except only consciousness is the person. The next, the cognition, the brain cognition. Okay, brain cognition. There are direct brain cognition and inferential brain cognition. The consciousness we can divide into 2. Cognition and non-cognition. Within the cognition, we can divide into 2. Direct brain cognition and inferential brain cognition. With regard to direct brain cognition, they accept sense direct perception, mental direct perception, and yogi direct perception. And another for 4 directors, right? They accept sense direct perception, mental direct perception, yogi direct perception, and next one must be, there's another one, yeah. They accept only 3 direct perception or cognition. So before we move, about the 3 direct cognition, first we need to know what does mean the direct cognition. What does mean cognition? The cognition comes because based on the cognize. Cognition becomes cognize. Cognize means because they recognize. You must identify. You must understand something. For example, the eyes consciousness cognize the form. Air consciousness cognize the sound. That means the eyes consciousness is the cognition, is the direct cognition, because it cognizes the sound directly. It should not rely on the logic and reasoning. This is direct cognition. Inferential cognition. What do you do? Can you tell me what does mean the inferential cognition?
Indirect recognition.
Inferential brain cognition. Inferential. Just guess the meaning.
Indirectly.
Inferential.
Infer.
What the meaning in English? Inferential.
You recognize something through something else, not a directly.
Yeah. Yes. We can recognize something through something. Right. You're right. For example, when we see smoking behind the mountain, then we must recognize there's a fire. We can recognize the fire through, inferential, through kind of indication or through something. So usually we have a true cognition. One, cognize through directly your five senses. Something we can cognize through reasoning or through logic or through result. For example, when you see smoke, that means there must be fire. When you see some, lot of the water bird, the swan, right? Swan, the bird.
Oh,
Swan. When you see a lot of swans, that means you must know there's a water. So this is what we call inferential cognition. So far we believe in the next life and the previous life. So we believe based on inferential cognition, not the direct perception. And this moment, when you think about impermanence, yes, the gross impermanence we can see through our direct perception. We can see, something, is broken, become old, is changing. We can see directly our five sensation. We don't need to use reasoning logic. The subtle impermanence, for example, things are changing momentarily, so subtle. We cannot see. We don't have any experience of subtle impermanence. But we must know based on logic and reasoning. We're going to understand subtle impermanence through inferential cognition. Also, emptiness. Also, the Buddhahood. We're going to understand through inferential cognition. So direct perception has a three, right? What are they? Can you tell me what are they?
Sense, direct perception.
Yeah, sense, direct perception, which is in the five senses.
Mental,
Mental direct perception.
Yogic, direct perception.
Yeah, yogi direct perception. First one is it sense direct perception. That means the five sensation. Even though five sensation, not necessarily the brain cognition. Okay. For example, when you see due to your some what we call vision problem. Sometimes you can see actually the things are white, or you can see things are like blue, yellow, green. Actually the things are white. That moment you can cognize the object as a green. Actually the object is not green. Object is not yellow. Due to your vision problem, you can perceive the object is yellow. It is the direct perception, but not brain cognition, because it is mistaken mind. Okay, mistaken mind. Five sensation has maybe it can be direct, brain cognition or non-brain cognition. Brain cognition necessarily be unmistaken mind. They must cognize things through unmistakably. Then next one is the second one, mental direct perception. EQ monsoon. This is, I don't think we have, yes we have, but I don't think we can recognize we have a mental direct perception. In Tibetan use the rangri, also EQ monsoon. EQ monsoon. It is arise within very short moment within us. It arise very short moment. It goes. So that's why we cannot recognize. EQ monsoon. The next one, the yogi direct perception. Until you achieve, accomplish the third part, the seeing part, okay, third part. Until you achieve the third part, you're not going to have the yogi direct perception. For example, yes, if you put enough effort, you're going to understand impermanence, subtle impermanence. You're going to recognize emptiness, but you're not going to recognize directly. Through your practice many years, finally you're going to see emptiness through your direct perception. That we call the yogi direct perception.
Geshe, mental direct perception. Do you aware or not aware?
No.
You are not aware.
It looks like why are you looking at an object? Your eyes consciousness recognize the object. This is sense direct perception. Behind that, there's another 6 mind arise at the same time. It's also aware the object directly. But it arises very short moment, that's why we cannot recognize. It is similar, I think, very similar. The innate or the subtle mind right now, we have many minds, right? Many minds. Some mind is very gross, some mind is very subtle, some mind arises 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds continuously. Some mind arises just 1 second, very short moment. It arises within us, we're not going to aware. For example, when you became fame, right? Fame, unconsciousness. Fame. Unconscious become
Fame.
fan. When you become unconscious in fan, that moment the subtle mind arises quite maybe long time, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. But there's no way you can aware. Your other consciousness totally become no function. That's why we are not able to use the subtle mind. When you have a strong sneezing, like sneezing, right? Sneeze. That moment, the subtle mind, arises look like the lightning. But we not able to aware it. We not able to use, of course, we not able to aware. That's why in most cases, as an ordinary person, we use only the gross minds, not the subtle mind. That 6, the mental direct perception is arise very short moment. That's why we not able to aware. But it is always aware with us, always with us. So, and then the next one, self-cognition, right? is not, this school not accept the self-cognized, self-direct perception. I will mention here, yogi direct perception as a direct combination of the Four Noble Truths and the sixth, it is kind of the, okay, they do not accept self-cognition. So also very interesting, the self-cognition. Within the fourth school, some school accept self-cognition, some school don't accept self-cognition. Think about this way, very easy. Okay, can you think this exists? Yes, this exists because I can see it. That means this is exists. We can determine this exists because I can see. That means I have an eyes consciousness. Without eye consciousness, I cannot see. This exists because eyes consciousness cognize this, the black, this one. So how we can determine, how we can, show I have an eyes consciousness. Yes, behind the eyes consciousness, there's another consciousness which is cognized, the eyes consciousness. So this object is cognized by eyes consciousness. The eyes consciousness cognized by another consciousness. So whom cognize the another consciousness? Then the another is become unlimited. That's why, this is the object, this is eyes consciousness, is another. This object is cognized by eyes consciousness. Eyes consciousness cognized by this consciousness cognized itself. Is cognized the eyes consciousness as well as is cognized itself. It's self-cognized.
That means there's no another consciousness to recognize.
This one, not necessarily.
It stops there.
It stopped there. That's why this school don't accept what the Swatantrika school and the Chitta Mantra school accept the self-cognition. Interestingly, the consequences school said, you don't have to worry about that because when you see the cup, that means you have eye consciousness. You don't need to prove you have eye consciousness or not. If you don't see the cup, that means you don't have eye consciousness. If you see the cup, that means you have eye consciousness. You don't need to prove someone have to prove there's another consciousness. Very easy. He say you don't have to argue about that. But some people say no. You must prove eye consciousness exists because there's another consciousness can aware the eye consciousness. So, but the consequences they don't accept the self-cognition. That's why I say, object must be proved through the subject. Subject must be proved through object. That's why when you hear the sound, that means you have a air consciousness. As well as when you hear the sound, then the sound is there. Without sound, you cannot hear. Without air consciousness, you cannot hear the sound. They say you don't need, you don't need any other consciousness which you have to prove. Self-cognition. Then this is a very unique, view. Unlikely the other school, the proponent of great exposition accept that the sense direct precognition is not necessary in our consciousness. This is a very unique one. Saying, sense direct precognition is not necessarily a consciousness because a physical eyes sense is a common locus of being matter, of being percept and being precognition. All other schools claim sense direct recognition necessarily consciousness. But this school said no, the sense direct perception and cognition not necessarily consciousness, because physical eye sense is common locus. Is a direct perception as well as is a form. We was using the bamboo tower. That's why the eyes, eyes sense is common locus of being matter. That's been form. Also being perception. That means is cognition. Cognition as a brain cognition. So even though I'm not sure about in the English term, because sometimes we use the eye sense, sometimes we use the five senses. Five senses mean eye senses, right? Eye senses in eyes is same or different?
Sorry, eyes.
Sense and eye.
Different.
One is the organ, the other one is the function.
Yeah. One is the organ which is just the eye, but the eye consciousness you can see things.
Eye sense and eye consciousness is same?
Eye and eye sense.
Different.
No, eye consciousness.
Eye consciousness.
Eye consciousness.
Okay, in the Buddhist term, we say eye, the round object,
Yes.
the round one eye.
Um,
Then eye organ
Yeah.
or eye power
Yeah.
Yeah.
is the inside the kind of the clear thing, that look very clear one
Cornea.
is of
Cornea.
eye organ.
Mm.
Big one. Then we say eye consciousness. We don't use eye sense. Eye consciousness which is depend on the eye organ. The round is eye. Within the eye, there's an eye organ. Within the eye organ, there's eye consciousness. We don't use the eye sense.
So consciousness is the one that you can feel the pain if you pinch, or that is the
Consciousness.
yeah.
Yeah. So, sometimes people, the eye organ and eye sense use similar. Because here you can see. Look at here. The great exposition assert that a sense direct percept cognition is not necessarily a consciousness, because a physical eye sense there's a physical eye sense is a common local, it means it is common between being matter or being perception or being brain cognition. Right?
Eye sense.
Eye sense.
Sense meaning that you can feel or pinch, you can feel the pain, but consciousness, the difference is that because consciousness you can differentiate. I can differentiate maroon color and white. Or
No,
I like.
eye consciousness. According to Buddhist, philosophy, eye consciousness just can aware the object, just aware, but it doesn't have an ability to differentiate. This is yellow. This is white. This is good. Everything differentiated by the sixth mind.
Yeah, the sixth consciousness.
The sixth one.
Six is to recognize the item, right?
Yeah.
But the seven is the seven consciousness is to say this is good, this is bad.
Oh, no. According to this school, they accept only the sixth mind, not 7 and 8. That's why the five, the five eye consciousness. We said, on Shenga, we said the five consciousness of the based on the five organs they can just aware the object. It look like a mirror. When you turn the mirror this side, you can see this image. Just aware the object. It doesn't have an ability. Say this is yellow, this is red. Everything judged by the sixth mind. Sixth mind.
It means it's power and consciousness. So my power recognize there is something. My consciousness tell me there is a color.
No. Eyes has a consciousness too. Eyes consciousness.
Also
Eye consciousness just only aware.
aware.
It doesn't have ability to make a judgment.
Yeah.
Eye consciousness. So I have a doubt because eye consciousness and eye sense is same or different. Because he said the physical is in English there's a physical eye sense.
But sense can
Sense
feel.
never be physical, right?
Yeah, sense can feel
Yeah.
the pain or yeah. But consciousness consciousness should be aware.
Uh-huh.
To me, consciousness should be aware. Yeah.
Whatever we don't have a physical senses. Physical sense, matter senses. Sense never be matter, never be physical, right? Senses are.
Yeah.
So here look at the English is a but cognition is not necessarily consciousness. Right? For example, there's a physical eye sense is common locus of being matter, being perception, being brain cognition. So I have a doubt this on the sense, five senses. So in Tibetan Buddhist, look at Wangbu Musum. Actually, this school is supposed to say the eyes power is also being cognizant, being brain cognition, being kind of being matter. The five eyes power is being a matter, being a perception, being a brain cognition. But the eyes power is not consciousness. They're supposed to say this way. Eyes power. He said in the physical eye sense. I'm not sure it's correct or not. We need to think, this way. They do not accept the sense power alone can wear. That's why they do not accept that sense power alone can perceive an object. Nor do they accept the sense consciousness alone is capable of doing so. That means when you recognize the object, it's okay, you must recognize by together. Eyes power and eyes consciousness. Eye consciousness alone cannot recognize the object. Eyes power alone cannot recognize the object. It's both together, it not perceive the object. They maintain that the two together perceive an object and consequently, they unlike all other Buddhist schools accept that both sense power and sense powers and sense consciousness are perceivers. And look at the sense power and this is sense consciousness.
Ability.
So, sense power by ability.
Ability of the eye sense.
Able to see, able to hear.
So able to see,
That is
The seer, and then when is able to see, the seer is the senses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perceiver is the senses, it's not the matter.
No.
There's not one object can be matter and can be senses. Sense.
Sense is not
Never become a matter. That's why I think we must say, the eye's power is being matter, its power is a matter. The eye's power is perception. Eye's power is brain cognition. Eye's power is not consciousness. That's been better to say the eye's power. Eye's power is referred to the matter in the eye's ball. This is eye power. Okay, now we can just stop here. So any question? It's almost finished the time.
Normally we say 6 consciousness, 7 and 8. The 7 is to differentiate, the 6 is to recognize the item, then
No.
7 is to differentiate.
No. The 6th mind is the man and body. It differentiates everything. The 6th mind can be positive or can be negative, can be neutral. 6th mind can be, okay, just roughly, okay, I'm not telling precisely the mind and mental factor. The 6th mind can be positive, can be negative, can be neutral. When we say 8 minds, the 7 or 8 minds, the 8 mind always neutral. They never be positive nor be negative. It is always neutral. Not like the 6 mind present everything and the 7, 8 mind make a differentiate and determine. Not like this. So if you really want to know the differences between 6 mind and 7 and 8, then we have a particular text only about the Chitta Mantra school. It's explain the definition, the ability and the unique kind of duty. So it has there's a particular root text written by brother of Asanga. There's a many text which is written by Indian master, particular about the 7 and 8 minds. So the 7 and 8 mind is special view from the Chitta Mantra school, not the Madhyamaka school, nor the Vipashika and Swatantarika school. It's a very unique view from the Chitta Mantra. They will say Chitta Mantra, right? And in English is man only school. It's very important. Of course, when we study about the man only school, we go to it. It's very important. Okay, thank you. Yes.
You say the subtle body and subtle consciousness leave the gross body. When it goes to a form body again, the new gross body and the new gross body consciousness will not align or link with the subtle consciousness.
The subtle consciousness and the gross consciousness is not remain totally separately.
It's separate.
It's not remains separately. When the gross consciousness dissolves, not able to function, the gross consciousness becomes so weak, is dissolved into subtle mind. Then finally only subtle mind. When you reborn in human life, the first time there's only subtle mind, not the gross mind. Finally the subtle mind produce gradually the gross mind. Dissolve into subtle mind, produce from the subtle mind.
So will not have imprints of the gross mind, the previous gross mind. Will it have imprints of the previous gross mind?
Imprint is not consciousness, right? Imprint is not it's kind of imprint means In Tibetan we say pakcha, right? Pakcha means, for example, somebody hit you, you finish the action, but you still feel the pain in your sense. It slips some power. Right? So imprint is kind of power. I don't know. Mark. Mark, you have to see, right? I can see mark. So in Tibetan we say pakcha. In English, you say
Chinese, they also use the word seed.
seed. Yeah, seed. Yeah, it says the Tibetan uses is a pakcha sabun. Also, seed has a two external seed and inner seed. External seed in the beans and so. The inner seed means it has a ability. The part of the ability is the seeds. That's it. Yes, this is also particular talk about the seed in the Chitta school. Yes, yeah, right. Chinese is seeds because they translate from Sanskrit to direct Sanskrit from China. And also direct translate from Sanskrit to Tibetan. They use the seeds, imprints, pakcha and sabun. Because they use the seeds, because external seed has the ability to grow something. That means the man has a kind of ability to produce something. They give a name as a seed. For example, we use the path. Also sometimes we use the bhumi, right? 10 bhumis. We use a path, bhumi, sa, lamba, sa, also bhumi, also earth. Also we use path. Because we use path, because external path, when you follow the path, you're going to reach somewhere. So we call the great compassion is the path. If you practice great compassion, you're going to reach to the Buddha. And also we use the bhumi. External bhumi can have ability to hold everything, ability to develop everything. That means the bodhicitta we name bhumi as a bhumi, because when you practice bodhicitta, it can develop all the quality. So most of things we name based on the external thing, the seeds, bhumi, path, earth. The seeds not necessarily kind of matter. Yes, I think it's. But when we translate into English, when we say seeds, we just have an expression. Beans. So. Yeah, thank you.